What's going on, guys? We're with a Roamer. I'm here with Dan from 1000 ASINs. He's done 5.7 million this year, and he has a goal of doing 10 million. That's a combination of a little bit of OA, but mainly wholesale at this point. And in this video, we're going to go over how to build a wholesale business, specifically how to land the relationships that you need in order to buy profitable product, brand direct, and also from distributors. He's going to go over the different nuances when talking to both these people, because and he'll go over what the difference is if you don't know. And there's a different approach. And I myself need to learn the difference because I'm sending a bunch of emails and I'm kind of using like the same template for every email. And also, I don't know when to pick up the phone and call. Like, I don't know when it's the best time to call. And one more thing, this is just like a personal thing I'm dealing with right now. I don't know, like, okay, I feel like if a brand says yes to me, like initially, they're like, yes, I want to work with you. Like, what I'm doing is I'm loading Smart Scout and I'm just going through and I'm emailing like every brand, and a bunch of brands are saying yes. And I'm looking at it as like, you go out to the club and you talk to a bunch of girls. What happens when you go up to a girl and she's like instantly like, yes, let's go to your house? You're like, wait, what? Hold on, slow down. It's like sketchy. Like, you want the girl that's like no, but then like you dance with her and she's like yes. And like, so when the brand says yes instantly, I'm like, wait, hold on. This is like, they're gonna say yes to everybody. So like, I'm actually more interested in the brands that say no, because I know there's that barrier to entry. So I'm curious your thoughts on that. So welcome to the show again, and thanks for your time.
Absolutely, yeah, that's a good analogy. Although all the girls say no to me, so I can't relate.
Hey, that means there's a lot of opportunity.
Yeah.
Look, grind hard, well done, sir, and welcome to the freaking Well Show. And party central to my well ones, a night of violated hell codes. Dope sells like the charge do, but selling's all about potential.
So starting out, just if you want to explain kind of like the different mentality you have with how you find brands and how you have distributors and how you approach them, and then we can dive into contacting them.
Yeah, for sure. So my system is really incredibly simple. So I maintain a spreadsheet of brands and distributors, two separate tabs, just a list of brands, list of distributors that I come across in my, just clicking through listings and stuff. So like, the rabbit hole is unlimited for brands. I mean, there's tens of thousands of brands out there. There are new brands every year. There are like brands that are popular this year that aren't popular next year. So like, there's always a stream of brands. So like, first thing is like getting rid of any scarcity mindset whatsoever. Like, there are brands to capture, like ample opportunity. Nothing is dead.
So this YouTube video is not going to ruin the opportunity.
Yeah, I don't know.
You know what? Like, as a creator, sometimes I get in that mindset where I'm like, shit, I don't know if I want to tell everybody this stuff, because like, and then I'm like, that's such stupid thinking. Like, do I have a bankroll of 100 million? No,
right.
I don't.
Exactly. And the people that will actually follow up and take action on this, like, I mean, hate to say it, is like, not everyone that's watching this, is kind of going to do it. So I don't know. And it's not like, so easy that everyone will just do it, and then like the opportunity's over. Like, at the end of the day, to be a big Amazon seller is a business, and if you can run a big Amazon business, you'd probably be successful at doing a lot of different things. But that said, I think that the opportunity is particularly good this decade, where like, the profits are really outsized for what you're really doing. So, but yeah, not dead and not going to die anytime soon. So just have that mentality going in, and
so I know exactly where you're coming from with like brands you come across, because I do this all the time now, whether I'm shopping on Amazon, whether I'm doing OA sourcing, or whether I'm looking at like wholesale list. I'm like, oh crap, this brand looks really good too. Let's add it to the list. But some people watching this might not know where the hell to start. And I recommend using Smart Scout and just generating like a list. You can like do all brands selling over 30,000 to 3 million in sales or something. That's what KT Hustle's recommended, and that's what I'm doing right now.
That's a great way to do it. That's a way to fast track the rabbit holes and just filter out, like the brands that fit your criteria right away.
So anybody who's like watching that's like, well, I don't even know what he's talking about. I can't, because then you're running the same thing with like Miles talking about like storefront stocking. Like after a while, you just know like 20 stores that are doing amazing, and you can go to any other stores and find products. And then there's
that's
like a
what I
rabbit hole,
do. Yeah,
like finding other products other people are selling. You find new sellers all the time. So
exactly. Yeah, you can almost like peer into their business just by like what products they have. It's like, oh, this guy's a mid-sized wholesale seller, and I know the difficulty of accounts that this person is capable of getting, and like I'm at a similar level. So
that's
you stock similar sellers to yourself, and that just is an infinite source of leads. So that's step one, like get leads, put down the website, the contact info, like learn a thing or two about the brand, and then go ahead and like fill the form out and contact them.
Okay, so that's for brands. What about for distributors?
That's for brands, and then so the big like difference is distributors want to move products. Like they aren't the brand owners, so they're not as invested in like the integrity of the brand and like the brand image and who's selling it and why they're selling it, and stuff like that. Distributors, the way to entice them to do business with you is like volume. If I were a distributor and a customer is like, I want to buy 2,000 of this thing from you per month, I'd be very motivated to sell to that person. So like a distributor, you'll usually get a sales rep, and that rep, you basically have the conversation like, I'm going to be selling these products online. I want to do big volume with you. I'm going to need like your very best pricing, but in return, I'll make it up with make it up to you with big volume. So like distributors, like a lot of times they'll send you a list, and that's like their starting list where it's like everything's marked up like 100% from their cost. And then you run that list, and then everything is like break even or even loses. And you're like, how the heck can I make any money on any of these listings? And the truth is usually they need to go down like, 20, 30, 40%. And so a lot of times they won't be able to on any product or even most products, but there's usually like some you can find where like, oh, I can do that for that price. And then, so it's basically just like trying to negotiate them down. And it's a little bit of like a game or like a push and pull. It's like the distributor wants to see that you're legit and doesn't want to just like pull their pants down, give you their like rock bottom pricing before you even put in an order. They might do that. And then like you never even put in an order, and then they just like wasted their time with all this negotiation. So like I think with distributors, you can even voluntarily do an order at a low margin or even break even. Just be like, hey, I'm a real person, like put in a $5,000 order, and then after the first order, you kind of like broke the ice in the relationship, and you go back to that rep and be like I'd like to order 3 times that amount, but I'd need like a couple bucks less on this item. Like this is the max I could pay, and then they'll be like, oh, let me see what I can do.
That's a great tip. Before I ask the next question, I want to ask a question about how are you finding these distributors? Are you asking the brands for distributors? Are you Googling distributors near you? Like, what are some techniques people can use just to get like hundreds of distributors to reach out to?
Yeah, for sure. So I'd say one, you could literally just Google and probably have some success that way. I've never really done it that way, but
okay.
I've heard people being able to do that.
And what would they Google?
I would like niche it down, be like beauty distributor, and then like you might as well select your area, because you don't want to deal with the distributor across the country. They might charge you, like the freight might like cancel out any profit there is. Ideally you want to be local, and then that'll reduce lead times a lot of the time too. They like stock the products in their warehouse. So I'm in the Boston area. I would just Google like beauty distributor, Boston, Mass, or Massachusetts, or New England, something like that. Or
do you have any distributors extremely close to you where you have like that unfair advantage of?
Yeah, I do. Yeah, we just got one a couple months ago. They're like an hour drive from us, and
so can you go pick up product if you wanted to?
Yeah, you could literally pick it up. And yeah, we have an excellent relationship with them already, and they have like trucking routes, their own trucks, and they like deliver to all these stores in our area anyway. So they'll be like, we have this, and this, like if you want it, and they drop it off to us, and it's just check on delivery. That's gonna be so helpful
this Q4.
Yeah, 100%. So yeah, we're having a great time with with our local, like our first local distributor, just an hour away, and like we've met in person, and it's just like great to
Nice.
just like almost become friends with them, you know.
So you're getting most of these distributors from brands that tell you no, that give you a list of distributors.
Exactly, yeah. So that's a great source of distributors. Like, you know, some brands you can almost tell like they're never going to sell to you direct, but like the pricing still might work with a distributor. So you can call just the main customer service line, try to speak with the salesperson, be like, listen, we want a large quantity of this. We'd love to buy from you, but if we can't, like, who are your top recommended distributors? And they'll usually give you like 2 or 3, and then they might give you one like in your area, and then, you know, contact them all, try and open up accounts. And I mean, there's hundreds, probably thousands of distributors out there to contact.
Hell yeah. So back to the phone call, you're on the phone and they say, where are you selling these items? Or what are you answering to that? A lot of people are like, don't tell them you sell on Amazon.
Yeah.
Tell them that you're a distributor. Tell them you're going to sell to mom and pop stores. Tell them that you run a lemonade stand down the road. What are you telling them?
Yeah, I mean, both can work. I take the honest approach. Like, I just don't want to be sneaky around any brands, and like it'll ultimately a lot of times like come back to hurt you. I think if they like get their act together, they might start filing IP complaints against you. And I'd rather just be honest, because it's not required to lie to succeed. Like, all the brands I have like know I'm selling on Amazon, and they're okay with it. And
okay, so how honest are you being? Are you like, yeah, I'm an Amazon seller? Are you saying e-commerce? Are you saying I sell on eBay?
Yeah, I do beat around the bush a little bit. Like, I kind of downplay Amazon and like emphasize like some other channels. So I'll be like, we sell on online marketplaces like Amazon, eBay, Walmart, which is actually true. I do sell on all 3 of those places. And then another thing, like another little trick you could do is say you sell in like Canada and Mexico, even if you're in like the remote fulfillment program, which I think everyone's eligible for now. That can like get you in the door. It's like, well, like they might be like, we're all set for the USA, but you said Canada, like maybe you can help with our Canada sales. And like we're actually working on that with a few brands, like direct shipping to Canadian fulfillment centers.
So biggest value prop for distributors would be spend more money.
Exactly. Yeah.
And biggest value prop for brands would probably also be spend more money, but maybe in a different
it's spending
way.
more money, but it's more about so things we'll offer brands like we can bring other products in your catalog to Amazon that aren't on Amazon. Like, a lot of brands, like the catalog is incomplete. They might have like 30 products in their catalog and only like 10 of them are on Amazon. And it's shocking. Like, sometimes their top seller, like to brick and mortars, like isn't even on Amazon. So you can be like, oh, we can get this thing on Amazon. Like, we can also be like, oh, your listings suck. Like, there are no bullet points. There's like one blurry image. Like, we can help with that. Even if you never follow through with that, just offering to help, like, puts them in a different mindset of like how you can help them, rather than like just like taking a slice of the pie that's already existing type thing. And dangling big orders, especially with like the smaller brands, is effective actually. Like, you can be like, yeah, I know we're like just another Amazon seller, but like we can handle all the sales volume. Like, we want to purchase in pallet quantities. Like, you know, like a lot of beginner sellers will be like, I don't know who taught this, but they're like, oh, ask them what their like minimum order quantity is. And like, that's the last question you want to ask, in my opinion, because it's being like, how bad of a customer can we be for you? Like, what's like
that's
the
a good
lowest
point.
amount we can order, and like annoy you with like this tiny like 1 case order. Like, I would never ask that. I'd be like, what's the maximum order quantity?
That's a great point. That, like, now that you say that, it sounds so fucking obvious, but it's one of those things where it's like you're just being so selfish thinking about you, and you're not thinking about from a marketing perspective brands, what the brand wants.
Do not think of yourself, how it can benefit you. Like, think of how you can help them. And like, almost every brand you talk to has some sort of issue with Amazon. And like, if you demonstrate some expertise on it, or like even come up with a suggestion how you could approach it, like just like that one thing with someone might be like, oh, well, I was going to say no, but like you actually were helpful, or like, you know, and then that'll like flip the switch between them being like, all right, we'll send you a price list. Like,
gotcha. Well, one thing I'm getting a lot of, and I feel like there's a lot of potential with this, is we're not accepting wholesale applications now, or we're not accepting any more Amazon sellers. I feel like there's like a way to get around that, because it's like, oh, you used to, but now you're not, or you have Amazon
Exactly.
sellers you're working with. Like, I could probably buy more. Like, what do you think? What is your approach when they say that?
Yeah, if they say like we might like open up more in the future, I'll be like, all right, let us register with you, and like we'll be in the queue, and then like you can remind yourself to like follow up on a regular interval and like ask how things are going. If you notice they're like map violators, you can be like, you know, we know how to remove these, or like how you can control your supply chain a little more, or like we have an agency that removes map violators we could refer you to, just like anything like helpful, you know. And then that might be like, you know what, we have a spot, and then they'll send you a list.
Yeah, something like I think is so valuable that I heard the other night talking with, I'm in KT's program, and he said this on a call, was like, he sometimes orders brands from distributors that he lands accounts with that they don't yet have. And so he can't order directly from the brand, but the distributor can. And I thought that was just genius, because now you're kind of like adding layers to it, where like a lot of people don't know they can order this product, and they can't order it brand direct. Maybe many distributors don't have it, or they're hard to land accounts with. So now it's like a huge barrier to entry. So if you can get them to order the brand at a price that makes sense, now you kind of have, like, in a way, exclusivity, more exclusivity than other people would. Are you doing any of that?
Yeah, I mean, I have some. Yeah, I order from some distributors that have like good relationships with the brands, that because of their good relationship, I've been able to like piggyback on that. I can think of a couple examples like that. And I even had a distributor go to bat for like, the brand was cutting down the number of Amazon sellers, a really huge pool brand that's now like cut off to any new sellers. There were like 30, chopped it down to like 10. And this is a brand doing like millions a month in sales. And the distributors like, here's what you should order. Like, you should get up to these quantities, and like, we're going to go to bat for you. And they did.
Hell yeah.
And be like squeezed in as like, you know, the last Amazon seller, and like the brand was on the fence. And so, yeah, sometimes a distributor actually can really help your relationship with the brand indirectly. Yeah.
Cool. Okay, so now you're at the point where you have the brand account, you have the distributor account, you finally gotten the UPC list. Or do you recommend getting a UPC list?
Yeah, sure.
Okay, so you get the UPC list. That's what I'm always trying to do. Okay, now you're all excited. You have the UPC list. What's your software look like that you're using to run that list? What's your process look like? How many times are you running it? Are you using a VA to run it? How involved are you at actually looking at it? Can you talk a little bit about that process?
Yeah. So I'll use Smart Scout's UPC scanner. It's probably not the best one out there of all, but it gets the job
How
done.
dare you say that about Scott Needham's software?
Yeah. I'd tell it to his face. Yeah.
He would probably admit it.
Yeah. But no, it's fine. So yeah, just use any UPC scanning software. They'll all, you know, get the job done. See what it spits out. You can put in some discounts. Like if it's spitting out nothing, like you could add like 10% discount, and then some more things might pop up. Then like 20, 25, 30, like, you know, see like if you get 25 or 30% lower than the published price, like are there SKUs that'll work?
Are you sorting? Okay, let's say you're getting like 100 units profitable return from a list. Is that like common to have that many like initially returned?
Yeah, from a big distributor, it could be. Yeah.
Okay, yeah. So it's happening to me. And so like a lot of these, like it's not an exact match. There's like, okay, on Amazon, it's a pack of 6, but the wholesale price is for 1. So I have to multiply the buy cost by 6 and see if it's still profitable. Are you, but like, okay, this is a big if, but assuming that if it's an exact match, which it's probably never going to be an exact match, assuming it's an exact match, are you sorting by ROI? Are you sorting by sales velocity? Are you sorting by gross profit? Like, what's your priority from the very beginning?
Yeah, I don't have any like hard and fast rules, but yeah, it'll probably be the numbers first, like the ROI and margin, followed by sales velocity. If it's both, then that's like the holy grail. But usually it's like a sacrifice. Like the faster it moves, probably the lower an ROI and margin will be. The slower movers might be juicier margins. I just like to buy everything, you know, but I would prioritize the order in which I buy it by, probably ROI first. And I don't want any like really slow movers. So I'd say like medium or fast movers.
What
Highest
is
ROI
too
first and
slow
work.
for you? Like, what's like the slowest you'll go?
For a wholesale product, I wouldn't want to sell less than like probably like 20 to 30 units a month, something like that.
And what are you using to calculate that number?
I'll just look at a Keepa chart, and like I've read so many Keepa charts and like rev seller things with like the sales rank. I just know exactly like based on what the rank is in a category, like how many units it'll sell a month. I'll just
and
like
that's just
roughly
from like, is there like a
just
place
from experience.
I know Reezy Resells made like a chart a while back. A lot of people have like these charts. Are those charts?
And they're like sales estimator tools like AMZ Scout and like Seller Amp, I think, has one.
What about for variation listings? Like if you go to a listing and it's got like 20 variations, but the sales rank's like 5,000, then what is your next step?
Yeah, I look at the variation viewer from RevSeller. I know some people use
and what does that
software,
do?
So that breaks down the percentage of reviews per variation, and then you can like extrapolate how many sales are likely.
So it's
based
kind of
on
like the same thing as clicking on Keepa variations and just doing the math in your own.
Yeah, exactly. It's the same deal. So like, and that's the best you can really do as far as I know. So, and then like I'll test like some of the variations that seem promising, but I'm not so sure about. I'll get like a case or two, just put them on some like lesser variations, and sometimes they'll sell like way faster than you think, and then you go heavier and like, there's no way that I know of other than like testing it out to like be very confident on exactly how much variations will sell. So variation listings are kind of annoying to me, to be honest, especially when there's like, 20 colors and 10 sizes and like there's like 200 variations. It takes some work to figure it out, but once you do, that's work a lot of people might not want to put in.
Yeah,
and
it's
like
barrier to entry.
Yeah, like there's this listing I have that's 3 sizes and 20 colors, and it's just too hard to figure out. So I got a case of every single color, and then like some sold fast, some like I didn't sell the entire year. I had to like do a removal order, but I'm like, all right, that was knowledge. And then I went heavier on like the other variations, and like I have probably 20 different variations on this one listing that sell 100 plus units a month per variation, just because I like did that work and tested it out. So
interesting. I've always wondered, like, psychologically, like, what if people who like prefer the color gray just don't leave as many reviews? I don't know how like logical this is, but it's like personality traits, like men versus women. Like as a man, I'm not very detail oriented. My car's a fucking mess. I know some men who are like really organized, but it's like I'm not ever gonna fucking leave a review on Amazon.
Absolutely,
I'm just not. I don't have time for that shit. But
for
like,
sure.
Other times like it might be like this really specific bra or something, and it's like the women like, oh, it's like the best, blah blah blah, and then like I don't know.
Yeah, no, that's totally valid. Yeah, I think I agree with that. Like some categories, even it's like some things you just don't give a shit. Like you just everyday items, like you don't need to review like a box of tea or whatever. I don't know, just something that doesn't matter. Then other things are like these ultra special gifts where like it's so like meaningful, and then like 1 in 10 people drop a review. So like I think you're absolutely right. Like some categories, some products, some demographics lend themselves to like a very high rate of reviews, and some will never get reviewed or close to never. So but it's impossible to like factor that in really without trying. Like you can guess at it, but like the data
is your own data.
Yeah, exactly.
Sweet. Well, thanks for coming on, and thanks also for speaking at Miami 2022. Hopefully we'll have you next year if you want to come speak again.
Yeah, for sure. Any excuse to go to Miami in the middle of winter is good in my book. So
we'll probably be doing that in February, like I said. And anyone watching this, if you want to get updates on events, romer.biz right here. We're also doing, where is it? Boom, right there. We'll also be doing Zoom calls with 7, 8-figure sellers. So if you guys want to come on, talk face-to-face, absolutely free, romer.biz, go ahead and sign up there. And thanks for coming on, Dan. Also, all Dan's information is below, which is his Instagram, I believe. But if you guys comment in the video below, let us know if you want him to create a YouTube channel. I think he should. And if we get enough, if he gets
Yeah, if
how
I
many
get
comments?
enough motivation and encouragement, then
If you go
yeah.
go follow him on Instagram and just send him a DM and let him know that we want more Dan, and also other videos below that Dan and I have shot. So if you guys want to go more in depth into online arbitrage or hear more about his story, make sure to watch those videos. Thanks for coming on, Dan.
All right, thanks, man. Talk soon.
Yep. See ya.
See ya.